morning to one you all. It's here, Pooja Bajpayee at Shivaji Group of Institutions. Welcome you all on a video lecture class. Student, this time the video lecture class is going to be continue. And today the topic that is before you, the topic that is related to your English language and the topic that is synthesis. Dear student, this topic is for class 11, UP board, and if we talk about the previous syllabus, in the previous syllabus we have studied one chapter in reader, the portrait of a lady, and one chapter in poetry section, a photograph, and one chapter in supplementary, summer of a beautiful white horse. Fine, these three chapters were completed, and in language portion, we have completed tense and all the vocabulary and figures of speech. So the first term exam has been completed and you people have seen this much syllabus. Now we are going to introduce before you a new topic, that is synthesis. That is a new topic for you. I think that I have started the topic 2 or 3 months before, but that was not completed. So let's see what is it. Synthesis, that is called in Hindi translation. Okay. So what we do in this topic, what is the use of this one in English language? So synthesis means a combination of two simple sentences or more than two simple sentences into one sentence. Okay. So either we make it simple or complex or compound. Okay. So synthesis means a combination of two or more than simple sentences into one simple sentence, or a complex sentence, or a compound sentence. So let's see this synthesis means combination of simple sentences into one simple sentence, into one simple sentence. It's the first part of this one. It is the first part of the synthesis. Okay. In the second part, what will we study? It's also a combination of two simple sentences into one compound sentence. Into one compound sentence. Fine. Now the third one. The third one is, it's also a combination of two simple sentences into one complex sentence. Into one complex sentence. So let's see that a synthesis topic, that is the very important topic in English language. Okay. So this is new for you because you have not studied it earlier, and it is classified into three. It's classified into three. The first one is combination of simple sentences. Combination of two or more than two simple sentences into one simple sentence. Fine, it's the first category of this one. Now the second one, combination of two simple sentences into one complex sentence. Okay, whenever two simple sentences are there, we have to combine them, and that sentence will be transferred into compound sentence. And in the third category, combination of two simple sentences into one compound sentence. So synthesis quotient, synthesis topic is classified into three. How can we make two or more than simple sentences into one simple sentence? This is the first category. Now the second one, how can you frame two or three simple sentences into one compound sentence? And in the third category we will study how can we frame two or three simple sentences into one complex sentence. Okay, so let's see that there is a study of simple, complex and compound. So let's see what is simple, complex and compound. First we should know which type of the sentence is called simple sentence, which type of the sentences are called complex sentence, and which type of the sentences are called compound sentence. Until and unless we don't know what is simple, complex or compound, we are not able to combine them. Fine. So let's see. The first one is simple. Simple. And the second one is compound. And the third one is complex. Okay. So let's see that what is it and what's it. Okay. Now the simple sentence. The meaning of the simple sentence is that there must be only one main verb in the sentence. Okay. There must be only one main verb in the sentence. In a simple sentence, we cannot use more than one main verb in the sentence. Okay. If any of the sentence is having only one main verb, that is called the simple sentence. That's the definition of the simple sentence. Your simple sentence can be started with your subject, with your verb, it doesn't matter, but there should be only one main verb. Okay. And how can we say that the verbs that are used in the sentence are in the category of the main verb or helping verb or another verb? Because you people know finite verb and infinite verb. Okay, so the rest of the verbs that are used in the sentence, these will not be in the category of the finite verb, because finite verbs are the main verbs and infinite verbs are not the main verb. These are present, these are participle, infinitive and gerund. Okay, so the rest of the verb that are used in the sentence, we just change these verbs into participle or gerund or infinitive. Okay, so only one verb that is used as a main verb in the sentence. Fine. So this is the definition of the simple sentence. What is the definition? In the simple sentence, we use only main verb, and all the rest of the verbs are in the category of the infinite verb. These are not finite verbs. Suppose that I am writing here a sentence so that you will come to know that what are these things, and just like I am writing over here, and going to school to study. Fine. So are you seeing that there are two verbs? Going is also verb and studying is also verb. Okay, but going is used here as a main verb. Going is used here as a main verb, and this verb to study. To study is not your main verb. This is your infinitive, and infinitive is not called your main verb. Okay, so we will see in which way we can change two or more simple sentences into one simple sentence. So I hope so that you have got what is the simple sentence and compound sentence. In the compound sentence, we just use coordinating conjunctions. We just use some coordinating conjunction, and coordinating conjunctions are also classified into some category, just like alternative coordinating conjunction. Different types of the conjunctions are there. Okay, and some conjunctions are like that, which always gives negative sense. Some conjunctions are like that, which always gives opposite sense. Okay, so Coordinating, whenever we use coordinating conjunction in the sentence, so the particular sentence is called compound sentence. Have you got my point? Whenever we use coordinating conjunctions in the sentence, that is called compound sentence. So whenever we will teach you we will teach you the compound sentence. I tell you all the conjunctions and the category of all the conjunction. How many conjunctions are in this category? How many conjunctions are in this category? We will classify them. Okay. Now the third one, complex sentence. That is called a compound sentence is called in Hindi Sanyukta Vak. Okay. And this one complex sentence that is called in Hindi Mishrit Vak. Fine. So what is the difference between these two? So in the compound sentence we use what we use? Coordinating conjunctions. Coordinating conjunctions. Fine. And we can separate these two sentences. But this one, the complex sentence cannot be separated because that is called in Hindi Mishrit Vak. Okay. So in this sentence we use subordinating conjunctions. Subordinating conjunctions. Fine. Okay. But let's see that coordinating conjunctions are also classified in different categories. In the same way, subordinating conjunctions are also classified in some categories, just like noun clause, adverb clause, and adjective clause. These are classified into three. Fine. Noun clause and adjective clause and the third one, adverb clause. Fine. So let's see that we will study in the topic synthesis, simple, complex, and compound, and we have to study all these three. But the first one is simple. So let's see how can we frame simple sentences into one simple sentences. Fine. How can we frame two or more simple sentences into one simple sentence? Let's see that. So, student, for making simple sentences into one simple sentence, there are some rules, and you have to follow all the rules. So, how many rules are there? These are classified into 7. These rules are classified into 7. The first one is use of participle. Use of participle. The first one is okay, and the second one is use of infinitive. Okay, and the third one is use of conjunction and adjective. And adjective. The fourth one, use of noun or phrase in a position. Phrase in a position. Next one, use of nominative absolute. Use of nominative absolute. Use of nominative absolute. The next one is use of preposition. Use of preposition before noun or gerund. Before noun or gerund. And the last one that is use of adverb or adverbial phrase. use of adverb or adverbial phrase. Fine. So students, let's see that these are several rules for making simple sentences into one simple sentence. And if you follow all these rules, so you can change two or more simple sentences into one simple sentence. So the first rule is present participle. So let's see what is participle. Okay, the first thing is that what is participle. So the superficial idea that you know about the participle, that the ing form is the ing form of the verb is called participle. The ing form of the verb is called participle, and that is also called gerund. Ing form of the verb is also called gerund, but that is the using of both the word is different. So let's see that participle is classified into three categories. What are these three categories? Let's see. Many times we are using participle and gerund in those sentences, but we don't have proper idea is it participle or a gerund. We don't know. So participle. Fine. Now, if we talk about the participle, so participle is classified into three, and present participle is active in meaning. Present participle is active in present participle is active in meaning. Past participle is passive in meaning. Past participle is passive in meaning. Past participle is passive in meaning. Perfect participle points out that perfect participle points out that perfect participle points out that particular work was done when something had happened before. That a particular work was done. Particular work was done when something had happened. Something had happened before. Okay. So this is the definition. Through this definition, we will come to know the kinds of participle. So present participle. Present participle is active in meaning. Really, present participle is the ing form of the verb. Whenever we use ing form of the verb for some continuity, for some continuous verb, for the verb that is going on at the present time. So in that case, we use present participle. That is why it's clear in the definition that present participle is active in meaning. Present participle is active in meaning. But the second one is past participle. Past participle is passive in meaning. It's not active in meaning. It's passive in the meaning. It's remained something. So what is the past participle? Past participle is the third form of the main verb. The third form of the main verb, and when the third form of the main verb is used used in the sentence as an adjective, not as a main verb in the sentence. Fine. When the past participle is used in the sentence as an adjective in the sentence, not as a main verb in the sentence, in that case, that is past participle. Okay, and the perfect participle points out that a particular work was done when something had happened before. So, in the perfect participle, what is the perfect participle? That is the having plus third form of the main verb. Having plus third form of the main verb. So, in that case, there are two types of the verb, and the first verb that is completely completed, and the second verb is going to be started. So, when this type of the sense is found in your sentence, so that is the use of the perfect participle. I hope so that students you have got it. Present participle, past participle, and past perfect participle. In our next video lecture class, we will continue this topic and we will do some example of present participle, perfect participle, and past participle. This is a new topic for you. You have to pay proper attention from the starting, otherwise you will miss any rule, so that it will not be clear to you. So that is enough for you today. Till then, thank you and have a nice day to anyone.